It's 5 questions on famous Patricks from movies and sports and films and TV and stuff. Happy St. Patrick's Day, one day late. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out my trivia podcast. If you like pop culture, you're in the right place, and today's episode is all about famous Patricks from a video that I put up yesterday on YouTube and Facebook, and you can watch the whole video. It's linked in the show notes if you're into seeing my face read you questions instead of just listening to me read you questions. Speaking of listening to things that you watch, I finally watched Patton Oswalt's newest special, Annihilation, where he talks about his late wife and things like that, and it's a really great special, so I highly recommend you watch that if you're a Patton Oswalt fan and you haven't seen it yet. I watched it, and then I kind of half listened to it while I was driving. So, I didn't watch it while I was driving, but I had like a headphone in. So and then I had to sit in a Taco Bell drive-thru for a really long time last night. So, I was in it probably 15 minutes in this drive-thru. So I watched the whole last 15 minutes, which are the best part of the whole special. So that was really cool. But listen to or watch Annihilation by Patton Oswalt. It's fantastic. It's one of those specials that makes me go like, oh man, that's why I got into stand-up, to try and be a storyteller like that. And he's one of my greatest influences when I first started doing comedy. So Patton is great. Check it out. Feeling Kind of Patton is his first album. And I remember in college, I played that for my wife when we first met. That was kind of like one of my tests where I was like, let's see if she likes funny stuff that's actually funny. So I played her, I think, the Stelladora Breakfast Treats track, and it was on a Creative Zen MP3 player. It was like this big square block. It was very heavy. And I dropped it once and completely shattered, destroyed the hard drive, scrambled. But I played that Stelladora Breakfast Treats track for her, and she laughed really hard. And I was like, I'm going to marry this girl one day. And I did. So it worked out good. But that is some Patton Oswalt history with me. Also, one time I emailed Patton Oswalt to open for him when I was very early on, very blue, and I was like, very blue, very green, and I was like, hey, I saw you're going to be in Chicago. You know, it was like 2007 probably. I started doing comedy in like 2006, and I probably emailed him in like 2007 or 2008 and was like, hey, I'd love to open for you if you don't have an opener. And he wrote back right away and said, hey, I actually do have an opener, but thank you so much. Thanks for the email and hope to see you at the show or something like that. So I always thought that was cool, even if that wasn't him. But he wasn't super, super, super big at the time. So I feel like he was probably doing his own emails, but who knows? All right. That's a lot of Patton Oswalt in this intro. But I will tell you that today's episode is not about famous Pattons. It's about famous Patricks. And, they have the same first 3 letters, which I just realized. But this is from this video that I posted yesterday. It's just 5 really quick questions, and you can play along with these. Again, watch the video in the show note link. And if you want to support this show, go on Patreon, which also starts with PAT. What a theme today. Patreon.com/triviawithbuds. And if you join at the $20 tier or more, I will send you a Ren and Stimpy Funko set. It's a pair of them as Dorbs, and they are adorbsable. You should check it out. There's a video for that on my Instagram page, instagram.com/RyanBuds, if you want to see the set up close. And if you go to Patreon, just click in the top right-hand corner. It'll say special offer going until March 31st. So that offer does end at the end of the month. And I don't have a ton of these sets. So if you want to jump in and get this special offer while you can, you'll get all the other stuff at the $20 tier and this little bonus item. So check it out. All right, guys, we're going to jump into this round right now. Let's do it. Here we go. Since it is St. Patrick's Day, I thought it would be fun to ask you 5 quick trivia questions on some famous Patricks. So let's see how many of these Irish named fellas you know. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Who played Bobby Ewing on the show Dallas, as well as Frank Lambert on Step by Step? Who was that? Question number 2. In what decade was the late, great Patrick Swayze born? In what decade was Patrick Swayze born? Question number 3. Who does the voice of Peter's handicapped neighbor Joe on Family Guy? Who does that voice? Question number 4, who starred in the 80s films Loverboy and Can't Buy Me Love? Loverboy and Can't Buy Me Love. And finally, question number 5, what team did Patrick Ewing finish his NBA career on in the 2001-2002 season? All right, those are your 5 questions on Famous Patricks. We'll be back right after this to see how you held up in this Irish-named quiz. We're back. I hope you had time to grab another green beer because here come the answers to the Famous Patricks quiz. Let's see how you did. Question number 1, who played Bobby Ewing on Dallas as well as Frank Lambert on Step by Step? Oh man, I love me some Step by Step. The answer was Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy, TGIF. Love it. Question number 2, in what decade was the late great Patrick Swayze born? The 1950s. The 50s for Swayze. Question number 3, who does the voice of Peter's handicapped neighbor Joe on Family Guy? That's Patrick Warburton, who played Putty on Seinfeld. Question number 4, who starred in the 80s films Loverboy and Can't Buy Me Love? That was Grey's Anatomy star Patrick Dempsey. And question number 5, what team did Patrick Ewing finish his NBA career on in the 2001-2002 season? The answer was the Orlando Magic down in Florida. There you have it, 5 new tidbits to bring to your next St. Patrick's Day party. Great job. Thanks for playing. And remember, you can get an audio dose of trivia from me every single day by subscribing to the Trivia with Buds podcast. Wherever podcasts are found, just search trivia and click on my face. There's over 400 episodes to check out, and it's great for your daily commute, your workout, your dog walk, or your next big road trip. You can pause the episode, you can yell out the answers with your pals, you can hit play and see how everybody did. We'll see you next time for more trivia with me. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers. There it was, a quick little quiz on 5 Patricks with some Celtic music in the background. Thanks for listening to this episode today. Again, you could watch it at the link in the show notes. Thanks for sharing it with a friend, playing along with your buddies, like I mentioned at the end of that little video. I would love for you to bust this show out on a road trip, like my friends Hannah and Jordan did recently. They were driving from like Florida to Ohio or something like that, and they listened to, they said the entire season 3, which is like 260 episodes. So thank you guys for doing that. And people tell me all the time they listen on road trips. So that is very, very cool. I know I've listened to some trivia podcasts on road trips before, which is kind of what inspired me to start a trivia podcast a couple years ago. We're going on 3 years of doing this show and almost a full year of doing it every single day. We're on episode 265. So we got 100 days more, and then we've done it for a full year, every single day. So thanks for being a part of that. Thanks for listening to this show. Thanks for telling a friend, and we'll see you tomorrow for more trivia with me. Cheers.